want to fight? Or you want to win?
Last night I had a dream that the world had turned. All our hopes had come to be. The revolution starts now.
What a swell party this is.
Remember this moment. You're here, you're right here, and you're ready to fight.
So we got a trailer for Andor Season 2. People have been saying for a while that the show doesn't really feel like Star Wars, and the song choice for the trailer just reinforces that feeling. It's not the kind of music that should be associated with Star Wars, even in the promotional material. It just doesn't really work, and it feels weird. Now, I definitely didn't think Season 1 was as boring as everyone's been saying. I'd say the first few episodes and the last few episodes are probably a 5 out of 10, and then you have like the heist arc and the prison arc. They're like a 6 out of 10 to me. So it's a pretty average show in my opinion. And when it comes to Disney Star Wars, it's not the canon to me. So the show's not retconning anything unless it's contradicting things in the Disney canon, because it's not part of the expanded universe. It's not part of the real canon of Star Wars. It's like when people were complaining about Ki-Adi-Mundi's age being changed in The Acolyte. That's never established in Disney canon. So it's not breaking their established canon. It might be conflicting with the EU, but Disney Star Wars is not part of the EU, so it doesn't matter. But the whole conflicting with canon thing aside, I do think a lot of the complaints about Andor are pretty valid. The show just has something missing. Whatever makes Star Wars special, the show just doesn't have it. And in the expanded universe, there are more adult-oriented stories that still have that Star Wars feeling. I don't think it's as simple as tone or characters or anything like that. It's something else. I can't really put my finger on it. It's almost like the soul of Star Wars, the essence, is just not present in this show. And that might have something to do with the showrunner not really caring about Star Wars. I don't know. And something that does bug me is that there's a serious lack of alien characters. Even alien extras, it's mostly just humans. I think Andor interacts with maybe 2 non-human characters in the first season. That's probably one of the reasons why it doesn't feel like Star Wars. And Mon Mothma as a character, I didn't really care for her story in the first season. I thought it was kind of boring. And I have a feeling I know where her story in Season 2 is going to go. I think we're going to see a version of her calling Palpatine out in the Senate and then fleeing Coruscant with Andor's help and the formation of the Rebel Alliance. And that's probably going to be the second to last arc, is her calling Palpatine out and fleeing Coruscant. And then the last arc is going to be the rebellion a few years in, leading to Rogue One. And we're also going to be seeing Krennic in this season, and that's a character I do like, mostly because I'm a fan of the actor and also I do like Imperial characters. If the final arc is what leads into Rogue One, he's probably just going to be in those last few episodes. And Andor as a character, like, I don't really care for him. This being a prequel to Rogue One and knowing that he's going to live doesn't really mean anything to me. You know, a common complaint with prequels is that you know the characters are going to live, so there's no tension, but I'm not really watching it for that, because I know that. I've gone in with that knowledge. Whether they're gonna live or die is not relevant. It's not really part of it. It is for the people who don't know what's gonna happen to those characters who watch the prequel first, but if that's something you can't get over when you're watching a prequel story, you're probably watching it wrong. I know it's kind of pretentious and kind of a cunt thing to say, but that's just how I feel. I probably explained my reasoning there terribly, so forgive me if you didn't agree with that. I'm sure I sounded like a bit of a dickhead just then. And there's also the Luthen character that everyone loves. He's fine. I think again, it's just because the actor does a good job. I don't really care for the character. I think he is probably gonna die. But again, like, who cares? You know, who cares? barely know a single thing about the character. And you know what, man? Leia was pretty involved in the Rebel Alliance at a young age. I think in Disney canon she was like 16 maybe when she got into it. And if we see her in this show, there is a very real possibility that she's going to be hanging out with Holdo, because around this time in the Disney canon, I think they're friends at this point. They're around the same age, or at least they're meant to be. And I'm pretty sure they are both involved in the Rebel Alliance when they were like late teens, which is around this time. But that's just weird speculation on my part. I don't even know if those characters are going to be in it. I wouldn't be surprised if they aren't, but if they do show up, I think that'd be kind of funny. And then there's all those side characters from season 1. I don't remember their names. Who fucking cares what they're going to be getting up to? It doesn't really matter to me. At least Andor has a hot Latina friend. That's kind of cool. Oh, and we're going to be seeing the droid, whatever the droid's name is from Rogue One, K2SO. What an amazing character to get to see the origin of. Wouldn't that be fun? I think all this show really has going for it is the production value. It looks good, and the acting is pretty serviceable. Other than that, there's nothing that really stands out to me as being particularly well done. And the most interesting thing about the show is just seeing how the Empire is operating. That's kind of neat. But that is just because I'm a fan of the Empire, and I like to see that kind of stuff. And if it doesn't improve your viewing experience of this show, I get it, it's fine. Like many people have said, at the end of the day, this is not real Star Wars. It's in the Disney canon. It also doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's missing whatever it is that makes Star Wars special, and I think it's multiple things together that make it feel like Star Wars that is missing from this show. And that's all I really had to say. I basically didn't have anything to say. Everyone was just talking about it, and you know, fuck it. I'll just make a video. I am going to be covering this show on the channel, so I might as well start with the trailer. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. The revolution starts now.